everybody. So we are on our way home to Virginia. We're leaving Tennessee now. I think we're actually, I have no idea actually where we are.
You think no GPS?
Yeah, thank God. Thank God for GPS.
Life is a highway.
We're going to go ahead. We're talking NGW Uncivil War. We were just there last night. It was a fantastic show. I apologize, y'all. I'm holding my laptop just so I can try and get a steady picture here. But, you know, we're in a car driving 70-something miles an hour.
I'm back. Well, you're being very generous. I'm back. Better than ever.
Before we even get into everything, Uncivil War. Fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. Great show.
The atmosphere compared to the Party Bowl, I think was about the same. It just never stops. And Shug D said it best. If you can't get over to NGW, there it's not the crowd. So take that for what it's worth.
Any opening thoughts on NGW's Uncivil War?
Good show. We kind of covered it already. Pretty good. Seconds, but yeah, good show. Good energy, good crowd. It's always a good time. Yeah.
All right. Just in case, guys, we're probably be a little bit louder just because I don't know how well our mic is with this. So we're gonna do a very explorative show here. No. Yeah, I'm about to say. So opening up the show was Eric Bischoff coming out of the ring, wrestling God himself.
Time out. We gotta talk about the meet and greet first.
I mean, we can, yeah.
I mean, I think it's worth it. Okay. So just to backtrack another day. So we drove into Knoxville on Saturday. We went ahead and hit up Cody. We said, hey, we're coming into town. We're on our way. He said, hey, if you're at the venue by a certain time, go ahead and swing on. And we're like, all right, cool. We get to hang out with our bro. So we come in. We end up helping him out a bit, take out some lights, and
take out some lights. We can smash them.
Yeah. They should have taken them down before. No, I'm not talking about Cody and Ed. I'm talking about the people that were there before us. But anyway, so we're like, yeah, we'll do anything to help you guys. I mean, it's kind of been a back and forth with us. We love promoting them because they put on incredible stuff. And he was like, yeah, just come by tomorrow before the doors open anytime. So we come in and we're chilling and we're watching. We actually got to talk to some good streamer talk there. And then Cody walks by. He says, hey, get the line started for the meet and greet with Eric Bischoff. If you guys want to go first. We're like, yes. And fanboys we are. Okay. And I walked into that room and my heart was fluttering.
It's just such a weird feeling. It was wearing a leather jacket.
Yes.
We walked in.
Boys.
Jeff, how's your childhood?
It was super cool. I mean, not so much for like but it's just, you watch something their whole entire life and how they get to meet him. Like I was telling these two guys, it wasn't so much like actually like physically meeting him. It was like hearing his voice, like right there.
Yeah.
You just hear his voice all the time on his podcast. He there's no other person that sounds like Eric Bischoff, So just hearing his voice and seeing him, it was cool. It was I don't know, man. I never thought I'd live long enough to be Eric Bischoff, I guess.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool film. We have a picture here. When we get it, I'm sure you guys it will be posted to the social media. We got a couple of great photos with some great wrestlers tonight. Last night. Forever a Lost Boys fan. I don't know if I can emphasize that enough also.
Yeah, we got the opportunity to talk to Moose. We got a picture with Josh Alexander and the X Division Championship, and that is the legit one because Jeff asked to hold it. And do you remember what he said, Jeff?
Sure.
Because it's the real thing, which is super cool. Got to talk to Bradley Prescott IV for a little bit. Oh gosh, he's my spirit guide. Just got an excellent chance to just talk to all of this talent, and it wouldn't be possible without Next Generation Wrestling. So
Yeah.
It's hard to come down from this high that we're on.
It's man. What was it, Jeff? I think you and we talked about it. Like, you come out of a really great show feeling so high that like almost like being home for a little bit. It's almost depressing because it's like, God, this kind of sucks. Why can't we go and watch more wrestling?
The wrestling on this level is different than a lot of other levels.
I'm gonna get my apologize for getting motion sickness. I'm getting my camera training still. So Eric Bischoff does open up the show with a big announcement. He puts over the crowd, says, this reminds me a lot when I started out in the AWA. We had some great crowds, still in the hundreds, thousands, and we had some not so good crowd. We had some 42 people in the crowd, but was absolutely loved by fans, and he really put over the crowd at NGW. And also, he introduces a new belt for Next Generation Wrestling, which is the Eastern States Championship. So very, very excited. The winner of the ladder match that we're going to talk about later tonight will be the first ever champion. Yeah, the inaugural. Just trying to hide his excitement because he loves the wrestling. So following that, we have a starting match with 5 wrestlers right off the bat. And it is, I'm going to name them off here. First out, Levi Everett, who is becoming very much so a favorite for me. I put up a post calling him the Amish Assassin, and I really hope that becomes a bigger thing. We also then had, Sage Phillips out next.
Yeah.
Sage Phillips is a dude.
Super cool dude, yeah.
And then it was Kenji Brea.
Yeah.
Or was it? No, I think it was Prescott. Yeah, it was Prescott next.
And then we get Cole Radder down the list. It looks like Mike Myers. Yeah. Jeff and I were talking last night. His facial expressions are great in the ring because you have to sell, okay? And there were just some faces where it looks like him from like Austin Powers, and it's like, oh yeah, definitely Mike Myers right there. Yeah.
Really good opener. I really enjoyed the Lost Boys antics. God. I'm trying to think of any specific spots. Suicide terrifies me.
Yeah, see, it's his feet, like the middle rope as he's going through, and I'm like,
say this. He hits the ropes so violently.
yes. I made the comparison last night to almost it's like a Bray Wyatt-esque coming off the ropes.
Yeah, just fantastic. Works his ass off. I can't believe Sage Phillips or Cole Radrick enough. Both of them have really great showing in this entire matchup. I cannot speak highly enough of them. They are people who I'm going to have to definitely keep eyes on in the future, as well as if they're going to be any match they have on High Spots. Probably going to have to pay to watch those. Really, really incredible wrestlers. Unfortunately, none of them were able to beat the Natty Daddy himself, Bradley Prescott, the Natter Day Saint. There you go. I'm going to think about the merch that we bought, but yeah. fantastic opener. I mean, coming off from Eric Bischoff right into this 5-way really set the tone fast and quick. Crowd was super into this. And then we went right into Josh Alexander versus Davey Richards, right?
And they open this right up by saying, and they say it 4 times before the actual match begins, that it's a 15-minute time limit.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay. And these guys tear the house down. Sheer amount of technical wrestling, back and forth chain wrestling. I mean, it was a master class, genuinely speaking, on just how to roll a technical wrestling match. These guys were top notch. I had to ask Davey Richards on Twitter, like, dude, it gets the 7 series of this. Yes. And he said he's in. So hopefully, we're gonna be able to get a rematch here at the next NGW show. So this goes. And both men are not happy with that. The crowd's chanting to let him wrestle. We start chanting for 5 more minutes. And we get 5 more minutes. Really upgrades to a little bit more of his devastating offense. Davey Richards also still gets in some phenomenal moves. I think we had a leg lock over the top rope, like draping over it.
Yeah, it was almost tarantula-esque.
Yeah, it was just fantastic. And this goes to the 5-minute time limit. And I'm in the minority on this one, right? 5 people. But Josh Alexander says, nah, no, I took it as no more time limits. Both these guys said they heard the referee say 5 more minutes. I did not see it personally, so I can't attest to that for myself. But Josh Alexander said this isn't going to end until either I'm pinned, or I tap out, or he gets pinned, or is tapped out. And they just go at it. Dave Richards off guard with a big boot, I believe. And once again, just back and forth, phenomenal. I mean, just from the selling aspects, these guys work over both legs very well. Yeah, I do think this is a match tonight. It was just so hard to beat. And I said this earlier while we were in the car driving, how it's so much harder to have a really, really good technical wrestling match in comparison to like a match that we're going to talk about later that does feature some door spots, that feature some gimmicks, I guess is the word. That was also incredible, but I just think it's so much harder for 2 guys who are at the top of their game to go out there and have, in my opinion, probably a 5-star match. But I mean, it was phenomenal. I cannot recommend this enough. Y'all need to get on high spots to watch this match alone. Bischoff wasn't already.
Yeah.
Davey's my guy. Davey Richards is a concept pro. There's so much more now than he was back in the day. He was kind of a little bit unprofessional back in the day, but never mind to judge. But he's absolutely great now. He's a great worker. He's a great wrestler, and he can be a top guy in any company if he wanted to. And I think these 2 guys at the show were, 1%ers, and Moose as well. We'll get to that later. But guys that really know their craft and really understand wrestling. And it was just in a world of spots and funny wrestling and flippy. It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah. I'll compare it because usually we're talking about it later, but we can even compare it to the Calvin Takeman and Mance Warner match from the Party Bowl.
That's fair.
And how this match and that match are both incredible to watch, and for 2 different reasons. And that's why stars and ratings, they don't mean anything. It's what do you like to watch, and this was fantastic. And Mance and Calvin, that was also fantastic. Okay, so there's more than one way to skin a cat in professional wrestling. These guys killed a lot of cats, if I want to continue the analogy. But like Matt said, it's just a master class. Davey's a dude. Josh Alexander's probably the best in-ring guy that Impact has at the moment, in my opinion. He is the king of the mountain, and he's a super chill dude. So that was also a pleasant bit of our day.
I'm gonna backtrack real quick here because the ambassador for Levi just tweeted out for Levi Everett that these are such kind words. Levi Everett's getting some rave reviews here on the internet. From one of the many people who have supported Levi, he'll be really happy to know. So a lot of people put over Levi Everett, and I think it's deserved. I think that dude's worked his tail off. But well, he works an entire. I mean, when he is Amish. He wrestles like you would think an Amish wrestler would wrestle. Like he's got the jeans, he's got the boots, he's got the button-down shirt, the suspenders. Dude's doing it, and 90+ degrees, like works his tail off, man. Okay, so. For the time being, and we get the Renegades on Dwight versus the Tate Twins and Billy Starks next. I think just issue with production just because we may have missed pictures getting out of the ring, and then I'm not sure if maybe the DJ actually replayed some songs a couple of times, but we got Billy Starks' theme about 5 times.
Yeah.
The last one the crowd requested.
So doing some research after the fact, that's kind of her thing, is that they play her intro and they play her theme a couple of times back to back. You told me the guy that was sitting next to you.
Yeah, so girl, so the guy sitting next to me saying,
Somebody speak up just a little bit.
yeah. Also, the guy sitting next to me on her gear, she had like hashtag never lose, and apparently like she has never lost. Like a singles match, I guess at this point. Yeah, and if you know me, you know that is not my deal. So I didn't think I think the match was bad, but you know I'm not for booking people like they're over. You know.
I ain't got no beef with it if like that's how they're starting out. I mean, I feel like if you're just getting into the business and you're being presented as kind of someone who's good, and I was pretty impressed with their work personally.
Yeah,
I'm a fan. Well, because that didn't happen.
and here's another thing to point out. This is a 6-person tag match, or a 6-person trios match, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't how we see it on mainstream television. It was dudes against women, women against dudes. That just if you were in the ring, you're fair game. And the finish was very into that.
Yeah. Yeah, this was great, but like, oh my god. Yeah, like we said, I think I tweeted out that this card on Civil War was so good because really any match could have been a main event somewhere. But like Josh Alexander versus Dave Richards was match 2. Like just to give you an idea there. And it does just ramp up. We have some insane matches to talk about further ahead as well. But yes.
For those who don't know, the Tate Twins are.
Yeah, I don't know how long they've been gone from WWE because I know they got signed a year or 2 ago. I'm not sure how long they stayed there or when they were released, I'll be honest. So I got to do some research on that. But it was really good to see them in ring again. Those guys can actually really work also. They also seem just very happy to be wrestling, honestly.
Love me some boys.
no one clip that. No one. Or do. Please do, actually. Now I'm saying, I might clip it. We'll find out. Send that to your wife. But this match was really fun. Renegades of Flight come out with, oh my god, was it Killing Chair or Killing Chair?
I believe his name was Ethan.
All right, well, Ethan, his shirt said Killing Chair. Killing Chair.
If I'm wrong, I really apologize, but I think his shirt said Kill Chair.
Kill Chair, I can take that.
It was great. It was fantastic.
A man with an automated wheelchair and Renegades of Flight rode out on it with him. I could have seen that.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Like a brother of like his
Yeah, it felt like he was related to somebody either in the match or on the card, and
it was awesome.
yeah, and he was super nice.
Yeah. They even included a spot with him running over someone, which I thought was pretty cool.
I think it was all three of them because it was the suicide docs, or no, it was the facade spot where he goes from the second to the top rope and then flips over. Yeah, and then he gets on the back of Ethan's wheelchair. Oh no, he doesn't go back. He pushes the over that, and the whole time he's grinning ear to ear. Fantastic spot.
A really cool moment. I really like. NGW does it right. You get a lot of inclusion. You get a wide range of talent from all over the place. If you are good, if you are top notch, NGW's gonna book you, and I really, really appreciate that about them. Renegades of Flight go over in a fantastic match. The finish here, Billy Starks, I mean, absolutely eats a Van Daminator. Terminator, I can't remember which one it is. Yeah. But like, I mean, poor skull. It was vicious, absolutely vicious. I also really gotta say, seeing Facade and Danny Moe and Kincaid one more time at NGW, I really gotta sit here and go like, man, I love seeing these guys at NGW.
How much longer are we gonna see them?
Not necessarily even that, but like where we gotta get these guys on television somewhere.
Seriously, and you can say that for a lot of people. Yeah, this is hard, but I think because I know the Facade does a lot of backyard and like deathmatch stuff too.
Yeah.
But even if that's not your bag, Danny Moe is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like her and Billy Starks, I think, were kind of the shining stars of this match. And for people who don't like intergender wrestling, me being one of them, this was a little more believable, I think. There were some spots that were kind of like, hey, not my bag, but overall, I think they held their own. I think they said it well, and I think that's really the major thing when it comes to intergender wrestling, is the way it's presented.
Yeah, I don't think any punches were pulled.
No boots were pulled, I can tell you that.
Yeah, never know that. Match was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Oh god! All right, up next, Moose versus Calvin Tankman. Holy hell! I can't emphasize enough how worried I was that the ring was gonna break.
It moved like once or twice. Not gonna lie.
There was a superplex spot that I was like, it's gonna blow out the bottom of the ring.
It was as close to 3 bells, if not right there at it. Calvin safe to say is what, 350?
I'm not sure.
I mean, if Moose is 3 bells, he's got to be 350, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at 650 pounds, and they hit, and we felt the breeze come from under the ring, like that was the impact.
These guys beat the shit out of each other. I can't like. Oh my God, Tankman got Moose up for a powerbomb. I was terrified they were gonna go over the top rope. Moose, I have put over Moose a lot, especially on his time with Impact. Him in person, yeah, he is a cool dude, a professional, and it came off that way talking with him. But seeing him live and in person is a very different experience. You hear commentators on Impact talk about how Moose is intimidating coming down to the ring, and you kind of go like, I see it, but like, you guys don't understand when his music hits and he comes out and he's literally staring a friggin' hole right through Calvin Tankman, and like, you almost go like, oh, you know, this is about to be something special. Moose goes over with the spear after, I think, 10 to 15 minutes. Go ahead, Jeff. You I got something.
If I can touch on something like that was saying, you know, some people, everybody wants to throw out the truck like, oh, he has it or she has it, but like, no, Moose really does have it. He's a guy that doesn't need a belt. Like, he could never win the belt and he would be fine. But he's also a guy that carries himself as a champ and professional, like in and out the ring. When he walked in, you could tell everybody was like, oh man, like obviously that's Moose, but that's Moose. Like, he carries himself like a champion, and he just has an old school NWA traveling champion feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, a total package guy. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal. These guys tore it down. Moose on Twitter really put the take as well. Calls him, I believe, a true hoss of wrestling currently. Another spectacular match. You guys are gonna hear me say it a lot. I cannot emphasize enough. You guys are gonna want to go into high spots and watch this match. Watch the show. Watch the show. Everything is so good. Everything was so good. And if you disagree with us, go in the comment sections. We can talk about it. But I don't know if you're going to disagree with it. I'll be honest with you. All right, so after Tankman, Moose, tear the house down, we go to intermission. We meet Davey Richards, get a picture with the Lost Boys, get some Cokes. Someone tried to convert Jeff to being a vegan. Susan, through one of our streamers at Genji Brea. Big fan, Susan. Big fan, Susan, if you guys didn't know already. And we're back. And the first match back is Trey Miguel versus Matt Cross versus Myron Reed. And I do really want to talk about how awesome this match is, but I feel like we need to address something.
You do. If I can lead out with this.
Yeah.
When you go to really any type of event, whether it be a sporting event or a play or a professional wrestling show in this case, these guys are putting on a show. All right, they're not here to listen to your BS. They're not here to, they're here for the simple goal as to entertain you and put on a show. Okay, we don't need to bring in any comments, whether that be sexist, racist, any kind of those comments. You're more than welcome to feel how you feel about a certain person or whatever, but just keep those things out of it, and come to a wrestling show and enjoy the show. Okay, and if it's his character, you don't have to include race, because we're talking about three guys here that can absolutely flat out go.
And this was a fantastic match after intermission that woke the crowd back up.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate that coming out of this match, and good on Next Generation Wrestling for already kind of making their comments on Twitter. You know, don't come to a show and make comments towards, you know, the talent, you know, kind of just degrading them. Okay, it's my 2 cents.
So to give you guys an understanding of the situation, Matt Cross came out first, followed by Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel gets a pretty big pop.
As he should.
Yeah, definitely. And he's going around the ring, and he stops at one fan, and he's kind of getting back and forth with him. And we're sitting there. Well, I completely missed Myron Reed coming out and coming past me because I'm sitting there like, what is happening over there?
You did miss them.
And I'm sad, but I got Myron Reed on the way out. But Trey Miguel gets rolling. He gets knocked out of the ring early and comes, sits by us, and he's like, also, happy birthday, Trey Miguel. Posted it last night, but came over and said, I'm going to be smart. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm going to let these guys beat the hell out of each other and chill. I'm going to chill. It was awesome. He just came and sat by us and the guys next to us, who were also chill.
Yes.
Prior to this incident today, I would have told you I haven't run into anyone at Next Gen that grind my gears. But if you're racist, you grind my gears.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
And at first, what I thought was going on was, and this might have also kind of come into play with it, is that there was one particular fan who was on their phone.
It was the same one.
It was the same one, yeah. So this particular fan was on their phone, and good on Trey Miguel, okay? Because I fully agree. You're coming to a show like this. It's a small venue. You're paying very little money, in my opinion, to see top level talent. You give your attention to them, okay? And this particular fan was on their phone and hadn't looked up for a while. And Trey Miguel gave him crap for it. And you know what? Good on him in my opinion. You know, and I might be in the minority here. I was tweeting during the show myself, but I found the spots in between wrestlers coming out, matches starting, both guys are in the ring. I'm finding the time to kind of send out a quick tweet. But you pick and choose your spots. Come to a wrestling show to watch the wrestling.
Yeah. And here's what I'm going to close off before I send this and let Jeff talk about this match a bit more here. Because I really feel like this overshadowed the match, and it should not have, because this match was insane. Byron Reed and Trey Miguel have a hell of a spot. Matt Cross is phenomenal as always. I sincerely, truly hope that Trey Miguel at least felt the love from the majority of that fans there, because we were 1,000% behind him. And he tore the house down. And I would love to see him back at Next Gen. I hope he does. I really hope this one thing doesn't sour it for him. I hope that is not the case, because I thoroughly enjoyed watching Trey Miguel just be an absolute star in the ring. I want to talk about the match. If you want to talk about the situation, you can as well.
The match was a good match. Obviously, you got 3 stars. Just like Codd said, if you want to help with somebody, personally, I'm the first person to help with somebody and even MF somebody, but that's still within the confines of wrestling. But not liking someone, or someone does something you don't like, and then, you know, racist slurs or comments or whatever. It's just tired. It's like, you know, like it's 2021. If you don't like somebody, that's fine. There's no problem with that. Just MF. You know what I'm saying? The big old really short, like at a wrestling show. There's no need to get racial or sexist or, you know, whatever the religious, I don't know, whatever the ism or thing is. There's no need for that. Just move on. Tell them, you know, that's fair. But you just can separate and show them, separate anything. Exactly.
Yeah. 1,000%. No need for it. This match was fantastic. Trey Miguel's a star. Matt Cross is a dude. He does pick up the win with a shooting star press. I can't say this enough. Also, the spot, Byron Reed runs and jumps over the top rope to give Trey Miguel a cutter to the cement floor. Like, it was insane. It was the truest holy shit.
Yeah. Until we get to the next match.
Yeah. I don't know. Next match.
Yeah, is Vince Porter making his NGW return, taking on the debuting at NGW. That would be Stallion Rogers. Some as Kurt Stallion, formerly of WWE.
If you guys didn't know, Stallion Rogers is a dude. He's fantastic. He opens up this match and he literally goes like, "All right, man, I know what I signed up for. Let's do it already." And they just start chopping and forearming the hell out of each other. Similar to Mance's last match at NGW, this one does break out the chairs, the tables, the doors. Sorry, no tables, mainly just chairs and doors. The trash cans. These guys just tear the fucking house down. It was said multiple times by Codd as this match really kept going. How do you not have anything for Kurt Stallion Rogers?
Seriously, and that's my thing. He's got a look. He's intense. I mean, how? And he's a young guy. It's not like he's on the dying days of his career, you know. And Jeff said it best at one point is that, and we've said this on the WrestleCast multiple times, that the roster still after multiple sets of roster cuts this year by WWE, that the roster is oversaturated. And, you know, going back to, I guess, the old norm in WWE, going back to, you know, the big, hulking, larger-than-life bodybuilders. Yeah, as long as we're talking about WWE, because Stallion Rogers deserves better. He took everything and gave everything.
Stallion Rogers, the man's wonder, or Moose and Calvin Tankman?
Oh my God! I know there's some chops in the Moose Tankman match that were like, oh God, I'm gonna tell you that there was a whole solid minute they were standing on the outside of the ring and they were just slapping each other back and forth.
They just resonated,
and they were exhausted. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, this match was phenomenal. Yeah. This is bad. I'm trying to remember the finish. The finish was a brainbuster off the. I can't remember if it was middle or top. I think it was middle rope.
It was the middle. Yeah.
Through doors. For Mance Warner picking up the win here on Stallion Rogers. Stallion Rogers, an absolute star in this matchup.
Yeah, at one point in the match, he pile drives Mance.
Oh my God.
2 sets of doors from the second rope, I believe, or the top rope. No, it was from the top rope. Yeah. I thought somebody was dead.
Yeah.
And then the spot that led to the finish, they were on top rope. Mance gives Stallion Rogers a headbutt, cuts him open the hard way. And then we get the finish. But Stallion Rogers was busted open. You can go see that on my Twitter at PWO Ryan. And the post match was awesome too, because you hear Mance's music playing and the ref's just standing there. He's like, "Come on, guys, the match is over. We'll get to the officiating at the end." Okay, I got to go on a rant here. But for the end of this match, they just slap each other a couple times and then shake hands like dudes. Like, How do you not have anything for Stallion Rogers? Somebody sign this man, please.
I don't know where or who does it. All I care about is watching more Stallion Rogers matches.
Yeah, come back to next gen. God bless.
He got a standing ovation. Mance, of course, got a standing ovation. Just absolutely phenomenal. Stallion Rogers, you're my hero. You're a dude.
And then he did wink at you when you said that.
He did.
Yeah, he
I
did.
felt special. he had a fantastic match, though. I mean, he is a guy who you guys have heard me on a past creative control.
He got released.
I'm apparently the kiss of death when it comes to drafting wrestlers. Think about it. Like, half the guys that I drafted are gone.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go back and review it. But
Just for context, Pat, myself, we did a WWE draft because rumors were swirling about the draft coming back this fall. So we did our own mock draft here. Matt drafted guys like August Gray, Stallion Rogers, Rust. Yeah, drafted all of them, and they're all released now. Kiss of death.
well, be careful about that because I drafted Hero first.
Well, can you go back and draft Ricochet? Can you go back? Oh, you got
the entire Hero roster stable.
I'm gonna need you to go and draft guys that are really underutilized.
Well, we will WWE is a conversation for another time. But I just want to really emphasize that I am a huge Kurt Stallion fan. Seeing him live was fantastic, and he was an absolute just dude in the ring. I really hope he comes back. I really hope we get to see more of him, and I can't wait to really see what he does next. And really, same for Mance Warner. Mance Warner is someone who has now twice just had some of the most insane matches at Next Gen Wrestling. I mean, we all kind of know it's Lariats and Lariats and Light Beers. Just an absolute dude. He goes out there, puts his body on the line, has incredible matches. Very excited to see what he does next as well. Hopefully, we get him back again. But both of these guys rule.
One thing, when we see Mance next time, I need something a little extra in his match, because even though it was a fantastic match, it did seem for a majority of it, as far as the weapon spots and the door spots, a lot of them were kind of duplicated at times. And it wasn't like it took anything away from the match. I'm saying next time we see him, I want to be able to see a little bit more. Kind of break away from what you did against Tankman and then what you did in the match. Yeah. And if they come out and do the same thing, he's going to tear the house down again, and it's still going to be great. I mean, it would be nice to see something just a little extra.
If you want fight criticism, there's the one. But I mean, otherwise, this is a fantastic match.
Seriously.
Yeah. All right. And up next, we get the ladder match for the Eastern State Championship.
I thought Temple was going to be the fourth man of this match after we took the lights down on Saturday.
We did. It was the same ladder that just used to practice. The other guys didn't. So our first was it?
Shane Andrews.
Yeah, Shane Andrews was the White Ranger.
Oh my gosh, we had a back and forth this morning about it.
Fantastic. Shane Andrews. Then it was Sean Hoodrich.
First credible I have ever seen coming into this show. Impressed.
Yeah.
Very much so.
For not knowing anything about it, and honestly, a very last minute replacement. It was supposed to be Menace in this match, but I want to tell you at about 12 o'clock on Saturday, Menace could not, unfortunately, be at the match or be at the show. So he was replaced very last minute by Chris Crow. Chris Crow, I thought, did very well filling in. Yeah. Then with Sean Hoodrich, he's a dude.
Yeah.
I love Sean Hoodrich. And then, of course, you get Codd and I's favorite wrestler, Shug D.
Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. Gosh, you know, the opening bump that Shane Andrews takes. You think that's the worst? I've never seen a bump on a ladder. Like, taking on a square on all the runs, I feel like it hurts. But if you catch the side of it, he just caught the side of it, and not to pull back the curtain, but after the show, he was flipping out. With his bag and everything.
Well, he also does deliver a senton to Chris Crow, who is in between a ladder. So his back hits also hold the middle from. Like,
and for those who think this was, it was a gimmick ladder or it was a ladder made of different stuff. No, it wasn't. We were there. We tested the ladder. Jeff climbed it. Okay, he climbed the ladder that they used. Not fake, not gimmicked. This is a real ladder that like construction workers use. Okay.
So yeah, very much so a real ladder. And we're not gonna pay me enough to take a bump off.
No, not at all.
At one point, Sean Hoodrich questions how good the ladder is for climbing. And if you have been on the internet lately, then you know what probably is about to happen. There's some milk crates under the ring. He pulls out roughly 12 of them and stacks them up. He gets up, I think, 3 steps. And then he's like, nah, my ass ain't doing this.
I believe he's at my podcast. And this was moments after Shane Andrews is trying to jump for the title in the middle of the ring. And really? Anyway, he says, your white ass can't jump up that high. And it was funny. It was
getting a match. Yeah. I think you were talking about the swanton. Yeah. So
I think that was a Shug, right? Because Shug's like, no, you don't want to do this, and then rolls Chris Crow into the ladder. Was that him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hoodrich did that. Okay, all right.
Shuggy was like, yeah, feeling real stupid now, huh? And then just pops him. I believe Hoodrich and Shuggy, I can't remember if it was a drop kick or a running attack from, I believe, Shane Andrews into the crates to knock him all over. Yeah, Shane Andrews is fantastic. Sean Hoodrich is fantastic. Chris Crow, I'm new to you. I'm excited to see what you do more. I'm definitely keep an eye out for more matches on High Spots for you. And your winner of this match, Shug D, Sugar Dunkerton. I'm just gonna take it off Jeff right now. So he wins this match. New Eastern State Champion for NGW. Over how he wasn't really getting booked initially in the United States. He was going over to England a lot to get matches, and he took a shot in the dark. Sent this NGW. It feels like it's a home place for him, and so many people told him no. NGW told him yes, and it was really the place where he got to really keep going. Talking about having their WrestleMania match, but maybe WrestleMania isn't your WrestleMania. Maybe it's Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe it's NWA 73 Challenge. WT. Maybe it's Uncivil War. He puts over all of wrestling, all of the territories. Wrestling fans at the show. There's a big "You Deserve It" chant, and he put on. You guys really know how to humble a man. I can't emphasize this. You know, the man had tears in his eyes. He was very obviously this meant a lot to him.
And for instance, in AEW also, you can tell that this is the biggest moment professionally for him.
You know, holder of 2 belts now.
Shows 2 belts.
I think it's 2 things on Twitter. Currently 2 things. I know he has both belts. He posted a picture of it.
This is coming from known show theater.
I enjoy his shtick. I find him very entertaining. It's not for everyone. Not everyone has to like Shooky. I just do. I'm sure that Jeff is just really happy he didn't hype the Punisher this time.
I do have to interrupt here because earlier in the show, we get an appearance from
Susan, yes, Susan.
Yes.
Thank you.
She comes out and on behalf of Next Generation Wrestling management, JP Henry is banned from ringside and is ejected from the building. So we get a nice little no. So and then he's out of the building. We're in intermission now, and we see an elderly woman coming through the walker. She's mask on, and finally exposed to be JB in disguise, trying to get in.
Because this could
This is really bad. JB was in the corner of Kid and Sane in the 4-way dance at the Party Bowl to earn this opportunity. And he's been known to perform some acts of chicanery in the past.
heel.
Yeah.
Heel manager.
So Kate and Sane going at this one alone.
He was like hanging on the glass windows outside, like, and then he would run up to like the front of the building to try and get in, and security would stop him. It's fantastic. He ended up sneaking back in after buying a ticket, quote unquote, and he was saying he grabbed security. Does end up hitting Rich One with a belt. Kane Say did not want to do it that way. But Jimmy goes in, pulls around Rich One, seems like he's about to win. Rich One goes out and super kicks him twice.
No cells.
Oh, he does sit in the chair. Yeah.
He definitely wrestled the first one.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And then Rich One does end up going over with the Phoenix Splash. Kane's obviously very emotional, which is children very emotional. And I mean, they were all matched. Like, look, support your guy, all about it, all for it. And that's what we'll say on that. So
I'll say
no.
It took me out of the match a little bit. I'll say that, and it's not because they were cheering for their guy. It was just so shrill and just very aggressive. And that might just be me being a cupcake in this particular instance, but To be honest though, this match was flat for a lot of the time. Yeah. And I don't know what was going on, like, and you made the point though, Matt, that this
whole really found AEW.
Yeah.
That we ran into with like AEW pay-per-views when every match is a banger. One match has the tendency to, I don't want to say under-deliver, because I don't think this match under-delivered.
I think it was about what we expected.
Yeah, it was a good match, you know? But, yeah, I would say you're Davey Richards and Josh Alexander.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's like you see it John really well 4 times. You know, when it's like, oh, this is the main event. Like, well, we've already seen this kind of. You know what I'm saying? And it would go the other way if it was death matches, all matches are
and your main event is hard. Yeah.
No, they're death
matches. Yeah. Now I will say the crowd definitely was able to rally back into it.
Yes.
But you can definitely tell that there was some fatigue. I still don't know if it's. I mean, we had Tony on talking about it, how fans have a point where they tap out for a little bit. And I don't know if that was here, but I mean, guys, look at the match that we've already discussed. I hate saying it, like, guys, I think fans were exhausted because just every match was top notch. I said earlier, any of these matches could be a main event anywhere else.
It was a good main event, but it didn't have a main event. Like, it didn't really have a main event. I was like, oh man, this is the main event. Not me.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I think that has a lot to do with just how stacked the overall card was. I mean, I like the fact that Caden Sane and Rich Swann were the main event because they are the NGW guys. Caden Sane is the guy that I think NGW is going to make a champion sooner rather than later.
So as soon as that takes the off,
no, I like he's going to be the NGW world champion. I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. I do. And I think, no, I'll tell you right now, I think so. Dude's only 26.
If he doesn't get poached,
I don't think he's going to get poached. I mean, he could. He's good enough to. But he's 26, yeah. But I mean, he's a guy who, if he does end up at Impact, at MLW, he can still be the champion here. And I will tell you, I think this guy's still the limit. He's going to be the champion there. I still think he's got to be the guy to beat Rich Swann. I think unless something happens where Swann needs to drop the belt sooner rather than later, because of bookings elsewhere, or maybe just need time off because Rich Swann is everywhere right now. Maybe we do see Caden Sane turn heel and give in and like, you know what, I lost. Maybe I need to listen to Jamie Hendo. I was wondering if that was going to be the case last night.
I thought a lot of I thought Caden would pull out all the cards in the deck.
And I will say this match had a very good storyline of Rich Swann being the veteran, controlling his emotions, and Caden Sane coming off as the guy who's still relatively new and highly emotional in this match. I mean, you have close threes, almost threes, 2.5s, 2.8s, 2.9s, and just the frustration, the pounding the ring. The story was there. This match is good. It's not a bad match. I really want to emphasize it's not a bad match. It's a good match. I'm just telling you guys, I think that after everything, I wasn't able to get into it as quickly as the other matches, just from, I think, exhaustion alone. and I think that kind of hurt him. And it's not any fault of their own, you know. The fans make the matches. It does. That's why matches that happened in the pandemic when there were no crowds aren't going to be able to hold a candle to matches currently or the matches beforehand. You know? Between Edge and Randy Orton is not going to hold a candle to personally, and I was there live for this one, but like that match was cool. That match was great. Orton and Edge are fantastic. They're legends. I'm not knocking them by any means, but I would much rather have that Rogers Vance Warner match or the Stevie Richards Josh Alexander match because the fans were there and I'm using his as an example. I didn't think it mattered. It didn't matter. This show.
I'm gonna circle back to the rant.
Okay.
Feel free to chime in. This is on the same boat here. Officiating. When you're a referee, you are not the star of the show. Okay. In terms of placement, I've said this before. Yes. Referees are not the gun. They're the glass of water on the table. Okay. You are your job, and I think the one referee, the one we saw the last time, I can't remember his name. He was the thinner guy. That guy wasn't terrible. There were times I was like, what are you doing? Like, but the other guy, the guy that took the spot in the Rick Swann match, oh my gosh, awful. Yeah, and it wasn't, like, both of them were fast counting all night almost, it seemed like, except for the bigger spots where it's coming to the end of the match. There were times where, body parts were under the ropes. Yeah, not counting when they should. Yeah, granted, we're allowed to heckle a little bit. But NGW, I'm right here. My dad is a referee. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I think it could have been a little bit more smooth in that department, and it wasn't just us either. And it wasn't just us either. There were a couple other fans that were not huge fans of the way the matches were being officiated. But honestly, if that is the one negative of this show, it's still an A show for me. Like, it is still an A show, A grade. I mean, what is there to complain about on this card? For me, it's officiating. Okay. If I'm going to eat my own words on this one, they at least did their job competently enough to get through the show. Okay. There wasn't a bad match. The worst match on this card was good.
Yeah, I'm behind that 1,000%. I think, like I said earlier, I do think Alexander Richards is probably my match of the night, because that level of technical wrestling is something to see, and it's even better when you're front row in person. Obviously, I'm going to have to go back and watch on high spots and review a little bit there in terms of what made on camera, what didn't, because that could completely and totally change how I feel. That Stallion Rogers Vance Warner match was really, really good. Moose Tankman was really, really good.
You're going to see me on high spots.
That's probably going to happen.
I totally forgot about this. During the Rick Swann entrance, he makes his way around the ring, and there's a heavyset gentleman who is dancing with Rick Swann. So just keep your eye out for that when it comes out on High Spots.
Yeah, maybe we'll flip it.
Yeah, we will. I will for sure.
Maybe High Spots will flip it for us. Yeah.
What's your least favorite moment? I won't say least favorite match because all of the matches were good. Like I said, to pick a least favorite match is like really pulling hairs here. So that's why I want to redirect least favorite moments. Yeah, this is from the rest of you. So,
But they were doing it like, haha, look at us, right?
But it's not necessarily that. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. You know, to fall and take that spot because that's gonna suck, and you're gonna land on crates, and you might shatter a crate and get some plastic stabbed in you. Yeah. I hate saying it though. I feel like once you pull out the crates for that spot, that's what I think most people are hoping is gonna happen. Like, yeah, you don't want a car crash, but you want to watch a car crash. Hey, we're in Virginia. All right, guys. Well, we were in Tennessee when we started this, and we're back in VA.
It's a good transition. You know, my least favorite moments. I gotta say, there were a couple times in the main event match where Caden Sade and even the official were kind of overselling. Just wasn't my bag, honestly. Yeah, and you're the referee. You shouldn't be selling more than the talent. Especially if it's just coming out of a bin. But there were moments where I think that Caden Sade kind of oversold. You know, I mean, he's a thinner guy and Rich Swann, dare I say it, was the thicker man in this match. So Rich Swann delivering his offense, I think, could be a little bit more impactful to Caden Sade. But I think there were moments that yeah.
That's what we all heard, Jeff. But he said something like Caden Sade was facing Brock Lesnar. You said that. Yeah. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. There was points in the match where the Cade was Cade said he was like bumping like he was wrestling Brock Lesnar. Like, you know, you think he was in there with, I don't know, said big guy Braun Strowman, like, you know, any bigger guy, and he wasn't. He was wrestling Rich Swann.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking Rich Swann.
Yeah.
You know, it was a great match, but he's not like power pumping people in the ring, you know, like zipping people.
He's not power bumping you with breaking parts of the ring.
Yeah. And for that to be my least favorite moment of the night is saying something, because even with the officiating and, you know, even with that, this is an outstanding show. I already gave it an A grade.
I'll double down. I also think this was maybe even an A+ show. I might give it that extra plus only because I was live and I got to experience it live.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm a bit of journalistic integrity here.
I have integrity, but I will Nick Patrick the fuck out of this. I'm obviously an NGW guy, just like Nick Patrick's an NWO guy. So,
we are next gen.
Yeah, we're stands at this point.
And I'm okay with that. Like, I've already given you my negatives, really, and that's it. And even for that, it's still an outstanding show. When it comes out on High Spots, find time to watch. It's a 4-hour show. With everything in between, it'll come out to 3 to 3.5.
Depending on what gets cut and how much of it, yeah, maybe. This match was fantastic. You might get cut and find out.
They've already reached out to me. So.
see. We'll see. But overall, I thought this was a fantastic show. We will be back at it October 31st, Halloween. And I don't think we're coming out of this show knowing anything other than it's at Halloween, yeah?
That's it.
So there's a lot for the next show. And obviously, we're going to be right here promoting it. Very excited for them to be back. We're going to be in Jackson Terminal again for Halloween. And that's all we're going to focus on for there. I'm excited. Maybe we're going to get a costume party contest. I don't know who I'll become the ring as. Hopefully, I'm going to be 15 pounds lighter. Matt. He's gone. I'm not wearing the hat, Ryan.
Jeff's gonna be T-Bone, and I'm gonna be Bubba.
You got to get with your wife for this Halloween.
Oh yeah, right.
So, Sarah, this is the first you're getting introduced to this. Ryan's gonna have a conversation with you very soon. Let's love you for Halloween.
Halloween.
We'll bring Logan. It'll be good times. We'll have 2 cars.
It's off the rails.
Yeah. So, fantastic show. NGW is fantastic.
NextGenTN.net. Tickets are not on sale yet for the Halloween show yet, but you can go to shop. They have the WCW Nitro S shirt, which we all bought just before the show started. And I was told by some of the by some of the workers that the Party Bowl will be on sale on the website after the show. So if you want your DVD or Blu-ray copy, I'm going to buy my Blu-ray copy. You can go to nextgentn.net, get that. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
So definitely, these guys rule. If you are a fan of our show, then you know that we are a fan of NGW. And I don't know, they have set the bar so incredibly high for most other live shows. I'm not sure what can actually surpass it. And I'm hoping it's going to be this Halloween show. We're going to find out. Jeff, any closing thoughts?
Watch old wrestling, watch support local wrestling.
Support local wrestling. Or drive, 6-7 hours to support local wrestling. Do it. If NGW is in your area, you need to be at the NGW show if you're a wrestling fan.
Right.
And Codd, do you want to have any bit of our plug?
Gosh, we've been noticing we've been trying to take in our own brand and doing our reviews. Go check those out. All right, give us a like, a share. Tell your friends, tell your family if you want to get them involved in professional wrestling or they're thinking about getting it. Show them our review. Our review is a little biased, but I think we all give a very journalistic viewpoint on what goes on during the weekly episodes. So, guys, there's no better time to be a professional wrestling fan right now. Okay, there has been no better time since the turn of the century here. Okay, seriously, there's so much fantastic wrestling to watch, and if your friends and family want to get involved, send them over to Podcast World Order YouTube page. We have fantastic daily reviews. Was it weekly? Yeah, it's all good.
You guys already know, check it out. Hopefully, I can get this uploaded pretty soon with my hotspot here. We'll find out. I'm not too sure if we're about to get to the part of Virginia that does not have the best of connection to data service. So we'll find out. Hopefully, this is uploaded very soon. But stay safe, stay awesome. Hopefully, this is up Monday before the live show. Should have Dwight. We should have Wild Man. Wild Thing, I can't remember which one. I think it's Wild Thing, Mike DeShazo. I'm still on weekend brain, I apologize. And maybe we're gonna be able to sneak a few others in there. They should be on with the live show tonight while we are traveling home. So check that out. They're gonna talk about some pretty fun stuff there too, because there's a lot of wrestling that happened this weekend that we couldn't cover because we're not home and in the studio. So check it out, guys. We will see you all very, very soon. And as always, goodbye, good night, or maybe good morning at this point because it's still only 11 here. Bang. Click.